It's the NFL on EA Sports.
And coming up, we'll see the electric Jaden Daniels.
He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Commanders and the Ravens, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually...
It's the Battle of the Beltway. Baltimore and Washington are underway. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So here's the first drive for the Ravens, and at the helm is the 2023 NFL Most Valuable Player. Second such time he's won the award, Lamar Jackson.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
They'll start with the option. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
18 more yards there and another first down.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
A short one there, caught by Likely. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That's now 3 straight plays of over 15 yards and 3 straight first downs.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up first and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. They'll run for the first time with Jerick McKinnon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And now hang on here. Looks like we have an injured player. Yeah, Mark Andrews is in some discomfort. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. And here, Charles, is a look at the inactive, some of the guys that are out today due to injury.
Yeah, and this is where the preseason work comes into play for some of those backups. It's not just them getting some experience on the field, but preparing each week in practice as if they were going to play. And when you have guys like that on your team, you've got a chance for success when the injury bug hits.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So the Commanders make their way out on offense for the first time here, and it's the rookie Jaden Daniels, the number 2 overall pick, leading the way.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week, in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go play action. Daniels. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Kyle Van Noy. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Now it's Jackson. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Boy, you know, some plays you can just sort of tell they're not going to work from the start, and that was one of them right there.
Yeah, I mean, he had every option taken away, and so all that was left for him to do was to try and keep it himself, but even he knew that he had nowhere to go.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Commanders' offense, led by their running back, headed out for the 2nd possession. And he's run well here in the first half of the season, no doubt. You can see the graphic. NFL leader in rushing coming into the weekend. Off the play fake, Daniels. That's to the speedster, Olamide Zaccheaus. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down. Here's the option. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the 1st. Running on first down, Eckler. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Daniels. Buying time to his left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now we got whistles before the snap. Looked like one of the Commanders jumped. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Daniels. Complete to Zacchaeus. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total.
And he takes it in for a Commanders touchdown. Olamide Zacchaeus, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the result, a touchdown for Washington. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
On first down now, a run with McKinnon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's Jackson. A short one there, caught by Likely. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So after the run by McKinnon, here's 1st and 10. Slot man moves right. Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards. Now Jackson. They'll roll him out. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have regained the lead. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1. And in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 20 carries, 113 yards, and a score. Play action, now it's Daniels.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be said.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing now is Daniels. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's Washington, and he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Flush to his right. Down the right sideline. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches, as they've got it as we resume action. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. Good footwork at the 30. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
A short one there, caught by Likely. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. The slot man in motion right. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep.
Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Not what you wanted there. It goes as a sack and a loss of a yard, and now it's 4th and goal. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. To the air goes Daniels. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. Finding room at midfield. Down the sideline he goes.
And he's finally down at the 21-yard line.
The rookie from LSU leading this offense well. A good throw there leads to a first down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
On the option, here's Eckler.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Austin Eckler, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Commanders strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Daniels. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he gets it down to the 32. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Once more, here's Eckler.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Straight ahead they go with McKinnon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Jackson.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 13 yards there and a Washington first. Now Daniels. That's out wide here for Robinson.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Eckler now between the tackles. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble of 6, but now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon.
And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throw right side here taken in by Bateman.
No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Here's Jackson to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From midfield now, here's Jackson.
Finds his man. It's Kohler.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Flowers going to go in motion right.
Play action. It's Jackson.
That's complete. Left side to Bateman.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. To throw again is Jackson.
Got his target. That's Kohler. And the Ravens are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. In motion left goes a tight end. Now it's Jackson.
Right side, there's Likely with it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Isaiah Likely
from 8 yards out.
And the Ravens are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And finishing that drive off was the touchdown grab by Isaiah Likely.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Commanders back out late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. Here's Daniels.
On the screen, this is Eckler. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
To throw is Daniels.
Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
Daniels looking to throw.
This will be caught by Brown. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up second down. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
Complete to Zacchaeus.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And he'll just get rid of it. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down.
Throwing now is Daniels. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Boy, Brandon, a missed opportunity there at the end of this first half. You'd love to give your guys a lead going into the break, but this effort doesn't find the mark, and that's going to keep things all square.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. A short one there, caught by Likely.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Tucker's kick is good. But for almost 8 years, 64 stood as the NFL record for the longest field goal. That has since been eclipsed. It's now 66, but still 64-yarder. Pretty impressive, CD.
Absolutely agree with that, because if you drill a 60-yarder in an NFL game, You've got a lot to be proud of, record or no record. And only a handful of guys can even attempt it. Excellent job there, putting that one through the pipes.
He's going to loft it, deep right sideline. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. The first half belonged to the reigning NFL most valuable player, number 8, Lamar Jackson. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Adafe Owe from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
But found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
Draw play, it's Eckler. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Looking to throw. Daniels.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force the incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. 2nd and 10.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
And he'll get it here on the touch pass.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Throwing is Jackson.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. He's to the 15.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Play action, now it's Daniels.
And he fends him off.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
66 yards rushing for him now to this point. Options galore here. Second and a few inches. To the air goes Daniels.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down.
The handoff, it's Eckler.
And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space.
Down to the 42, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's first down. It's Eckler again. To about the 26 here.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Eckler diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown.
Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the second time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Play action. Now Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
No hesitation, goes right back to Likely.
So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders' offense and running back Austin Eckler set to take over once more. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
And this is going to be a Commander's 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
First down, and they stick with Eckler.
To the 43, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On the move to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kyle Van Noy able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. And it has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste.
Brandon, these cornerbacks have their hands full all afternoon long, but they finally get a measure of revenge as he gets himself in a nice spot. He's able to get 2 hands on the football and pick it off.
The offense heading back out as we take a closer look at Austin Eckler.
He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 8. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Well, so much for that possession.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a little too much there, partner. He tried to keep it himself. End up getting buried in the backfield, and that brings up 4th down.
And his kick here is good. And that'll tie us at 30-30.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Third and short, McKinnon. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 54 yards.
And the Ravens have taken the lead. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
Tucker with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. Off the play fake, Daniels. That's caught by Sennett.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
That's into the hands of Eckler.
And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
That one complete out to Dotson.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Baltimore.
It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4.
They'll run for it with Robinson. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there.
The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first.
And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory.
Jeremy Chin there defensively. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5.
Here again is McKinnon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
41 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
Out to the right, here's McKinnon. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Jackson. Screen play, McKinnon. His 2nd catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
And that is no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
Well, that one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And still just down 1 score. We'll see how big of a role that missed field goal plays, because it, of course, could have pushed this to a 2-possession deficit for them. Odafe Owe so quick, and he gets to him there behind the line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. This is swung out to Eckler. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And a good job of just fighting through 1 tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 7. Now Daniels.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Here's Daniels. Open man is the tight end, John Bates.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. To throw is Daniels.
Fighting fighting through pressure. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler, and he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st.
And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Austin Eckler.
He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list.
And the Commanders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Extra point attempt to come here. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Jackson. A short one there, caught by Likely.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Handoff, it's McKinnon. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They run once more with McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now it's Peterson. He gets away from 1. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
130 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
Daniels looking to throw.
Out to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Well, they go play action. Daniels.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
Escaping the press. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
There's Charles Harris getting home for the sack. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number It's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. Off the play fake, here's Jackson.
On the crossing route, he finds Kohler.
And he's going to be wrangled down quickly after the catch up at the 45-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Throwing is Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Isaiah Likely
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year.
And the Ravens have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. Well, CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat, and there he is again already, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and flowed towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play. And, of course, he did exactly that. His size, speed, and versatility makes him a top target in any game.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Here's Eckler to begin the drive.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. On the give, this is Eckler. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
143 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
He'll drop this one off to Eckler.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Throwing now is Daniels.
Got him in. It's Brown.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
To the air goes Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 26. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts
as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens have just about sewn up this football game.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they will take a knee here. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for Baltimore, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders,
the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.